Okay, this is not what it looks like. It's kind of what it looks like, but the big picture is, uh, I wanted, I want to have some kind of like AI agent, like Jarvis from Iron Man. Been waiting around since 2008 for it. It doesn't exist, so I thought I'd investigate. Like, all right, what are the circumstances in the AI technological realm that's making that the case? Uh, and finding out, okay, is it just not commercially viable? Is it not what people want, perhaps? Maybe I'm the only one. I know I'm not. Uh, that led me to learning about LLMs and downloading your own and all the different sized models that you can get, and then finding out that Python code is something that would be good to know, and then trying to learn that. And when you're my age, that's not exactly an ideal option. So of course you turn to help um, with something like ChatGPT. And so my plan thus far has been to have ChatGPT write the code. Uh, I play with it a bit and figure out what it does, uh, break it, try and put it back together, and I'm going to make a actual like purposeful YouTube video where I uh, show people how to make an app um, with ChatGPT, and then test it, package it into an exe file, and then you have a little app on your desktop that you can use anytime you want. Um, Basic noob, I know nothing. I'm letting this program do all the work, but there are some things you have to know to get there. So, what are they? One might ask. Well, let's see here. Step one, downloading Python. So, here we go. By the way, apropos of nothing, uh, one of the coolest things is I've got this keyboard that is also my mouse. These are real keys, like real keys that you can press. Hear that? But it's also trackpad. I did a whole video about that. Should check it out. Okay, so step one, you download Python, uh, and then find it. I don't know if anyone else is as obsessed about this as I am, but if something's going to be on my computer, I kind of want to know where. Uh, and it was kind of weirding me out when I downloaded it and I didn't know where it was being saved or where it was saving additional files and stuff, but whatever. Now, of course, with Python, it's, you know, can appear kind of rudimentary and you can end up running it on like your command prompt or something. Uh, don't do that. My recommendation would be to get a editor. There's also something called an IDE. Don't 100% understand the distinction between the two just yet, although I did get one of those, and it looks very similar to the editor that I've been using, which is VS Code. It's free. You just download it, and what's really neat about it is it's very customizable. For instance, this color scheme I got to choose, and then certain shortcuts and stuff that I taught it or that I programmed into it so that I could do things quicker. But yeah, so this is code for something that I ran, and it's kind of coming along, but I thought I would start fresh. Something completely new? No. It also has its own AI. I don't know if that's Google Copilot that's listed up there, but it's got some kind of AI built into it that'll, I guess, help you write code and script and stuff, but I haven't messed with that at all. I've been strictly kind of doing it all in ChatGPT because there's weird methods with trying to conversate with AI about this because it gets things messed up all the time. Like the number of errors it can make writing this code is impressive. So, um, let's start with something simple. We are going to try out write me Python code for a stopwatch. Oh, crap. There's a built-in GUI interface that comes with Python that you can tell it to factor into the code. I'm going to have to write a script for all this eventually, and I got to figure out what goes where. Code for stopwatch. Use a is it K.I.T.T GUI? With a circular clock face on it. Second hand. It will have one hand, the second hand. Probably just for ChatGPT's sake, the second hand. That will move with the seconds as they pass. Have a digital readout at the bottom showing the full time, hours, minutes, seconds. Let's see. What else? Circular clock face. To pass. 0 to 60 seconds per revolution. Full time, and include a start, stop, and stop, please, and reset button. Cool. Last time I did this, I did not have a clock face. Hey, somebody's watching. Who's watching? Say hi. If you're just tuning in, I'm testing a setup with like a secondary laptop that I'm learning Python on. And by learning Python, I mean having AI write script. And then I take that script and break it. All right. So then you go over to VS Code here. We're going to put that in, save it, run it. Let's take a look at it. It's over here on this monitor. Let's bring it into view. There she is. Circular stopwatch. It's legit that simple. I think I did that in like 2 minutes. Okay. Yep. So it works. So then from there, that's when I get stupid and try to break it. Normally in my instructions, I do tell it to include like a section where I can customize the GUI, like color schemes and stuff. This has actually been kind of cool. When I tell it to do that, what I get, and this is one of them, is you can see here, this is the GUI color scheme section of the code, and it breaks out the different things that have color codes with hex codes there, and then instead of typing in a hex code, it actually, I don't know, maybe this is a VS Code thing. Just lets me select the color, and then the hex code that I've chosen will appear there. So you see it changes. So anything labeled button color, or that gets the button color in the code, will become that shade of red. So, yeah. But going back to our stopwatch, let's go back to our stopwatch's code. One thing that is fun about VS Code is that it also has, oh shoot, you can't see, okay, let me get out of the way here. I'm gonna move me out of the way so you can, you really can't see that, can you? There we go. All right, so down at the bottom, it actually detects problems in your code and tells you what the problems are. This one is redefining name root from outer scope line 108. All right, let's figure out what that is. 108 root, redefining name root. So root equals tk.tk, and I guess that's what they're saying, is that root is defined as something else earlier. Self root equals root. I'd argue that that's not the case, that it's not defining self root equals root, and then later on root equals tk. Huh. What I guess I don't understand, that I'm still trying to figure out, is like how some of these problems, like having something, a piece of code defined two different ways in the code, you'd think would break it, and it doesn't. And that's an interesting thing to me, is learning these parameters, like what breaks stuff and doesn't. What is that? Is there audio coming from my laptop? Now, what is really interesting, if you're interested in like doing stuff with AI, I don't think I have it in that folder. Like you want to build your own AI bot, or specifically like I eventually want to do, is some kind of JARVIS thing. Yeah, I think it's here. No? Okay. Give me just a second. I will find this. Don't save. There she is. This one. This one is interesting. There it is. Okay. This is actually using the microphone on my laptop over here and making this orb respond to the sound of my voice, which is pretty dope. And I haven't messed around with what you can do with the shapes yet, but that will be the next step, is making that maybe some kind of oscillating set of waveforms or something. But you know, I think this alone right here is pretty cool. So once you have a working, oh, I can open the other ones here. Once you have a working version of whatever app you want, like let's say, oh, there's nothing else available. A working version of that stopwatch that we made. Here she is. Phase 2 is going to be making an app that you can put on your desktop. not having to go into VS Code and run it each time you want to use it, which I guess technically you could. You could probably make some kind of macro or shortcut that opens it. H1 Ghost, hello. Welcome. I am preparing to make a YouTube video about learning how to code with Python via AI, i.e., not actually learning how to code, but rather letting GPT do it. Do you have AI Bro Pro? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Clarify. Do I have AI? I think we all have AI in some way. This is ChatGPT here, but some guy at work today showed me an NVIDIA app on his phone that had like every model, and he was like, he like bounces between using DeepSeek and Gemini and Mistral and stuff like that. So, yeah. Are you trying to sell me AI? Is that what you're trying to do? Let me know. Your logo looks familiar. Are you who I think you are? Are you out of Texas? H1 Ghost? No, you're not who I think you are. Okay. I know a gaming PC builder out of Texas has a very similar logo to you. So, anyway, after you've built the app, you can actually install where is it? That's a stopwatch code. You can package it and you simply just ask ChatGPT, all right, I want to package this into an exe, and you got to install something called PyInstaller, and then you'll run this script, one file, your script, whatever the name of your file is, .py, and then I had the little icon that's in the corner of most apps. You can actually customize that and change that in the app. I'll show you an example of one that I did. So come here. Come here. Don't be shy. All right, so this is an app I made and then exported. Where are you going to open up? Going to open up over here. Got two screens running. You can't see the other one. She's taking its sweet time. That's worrisome. There she is. She's over here. So this app is called House Party. And it scans networks that you're on for IP addresses and stuff like that. Can export that list to CSV or show you a network map, which is not really that fancy at all. But I was able to like change the little icon logo up here. So that's an option for you. But let's see here. Install one file, your script. Yeah. So then you run that and it'll compile it automatically into an exe file and dump it in a folder for you. And then there you go. You got a little, for instance, stopwatch app like that one that we have right here that you can play with. Now, I did learn something unfortunate today. When you make an app like this in 30 seconds in Python, is that if you try and email it to somebody, Google immediately flags it as a virus. So I had to search for some tricks there. It has something to do with you zip it and then take the P out of the word zip in the file extension, and apparently Gmail will let you email it. Or you could just dump it in a Google Drive folder and then share that link with friends if you want to share whatever app you just made. So that's how to code in Python with no knowledge whatsoever, and hoping that ChatGPT doesn't screw you over and give you bad code, which it will. Like it will, if you make revisions after putting something in, and you're like, okay, give me a whole, like, don't just give me the little revision of that, those few lines of code. Give me the full code all over again. Then it might change complete sections of it and different from the previous version. So if you compare them side by side, which is actually what's really cool about VS Code, is that you can compare two versions. Like I've got version 2 of House Party and version, okay, I'll show it. All right, so then I can do side by side. Boop. Let's go back to here. There we go. So this is the first version of House Party version, next to the second version. And right off the bat, you can see like the import list at the top, all the different modules it uses. There's a bunch of extra ones. That's when I added the export option. But like right after that, you can see that there's the color coding thing was added. And then the first definition is ping on this one. And the first one is get local here, then ping, then scan network. There's a second one here. This is get ARP table, get vendor. Like it just completely did it. Like the order of operations looks like it was different. Start scan, run scan were instructions here that weren't here. It was just scan network here. So I asked for a couple changes unrelated to any of this, and it changed kind of how it labeled these sections and stuff. And I'm not exactly sure what the implications are of that because, again, I don't actually know how to code. I'm just trying to understand these, like the indentations and the groupings and why things are placed the way they are. Certain things I've learned, like justifying. You can do left, right, center, top, and bottom. But apparently, I'm sorry, left, right, top, and bottom, but you can't do center. That apparently isn't an option. Like you see here, there's left. But I tried changing left to center because all the buttons were off to the left one time. Wouldn't let me do it. But good news was the problems were listed down here in the problem section. And undefined variable. And this is actually kind of cool. Just like in Microsoft Word or Google, that when you have something misspelled, when you have code that's wrong, you actually can just highlight it and it gives you details about that, even links to more information about that. And that is a function within VS Code called pylint. I guess there's a action called linting that going through and finding these errors. And that's all part of them. These additional modules you can download with VS Code. So in my 2 or 3 days of experience with this, I'm happy with VS Code more so than one of these IDEs I was using, which again, I don't understand the distinction, but let's go ahead and look at that. Let's go ahead and explain the distinction between a Python code editor and IDE. Lightweight tool designed mainly for writing and editing code. Sure, that's exactly what it worked. Integrated Development Environment. That's what it stands for. Oof. See? If only I had paid attention. All right, core features on top of what editors offer. Okay, so this is in addition to everything that was up here. Project file management. I feel like I did that. Version control support. Okay. Integrated terminal. Thought that was already there. GUI design tools. That could be cool. Examples, PyCharm. Thani is the one that I played with. Maybe I should try PyCharm. Don't know. Oh, idle. Python's default ID. I mean, if it's Python's default, then wouldn't that be what you want to go with? Ideal for full-scale applications, long-term projects, beginners with simplified environments like Thani. That's me, beginner. And then IDEs are heavier. No debugging tools. I disagree. I thought VS Code had good bug detection. I don't know. Build run integration. Limited. Sure. But I think just VS Code alone for making little apps and exporting them is like our stopwatch here. Perfectly viable. And in 30 minutes, you can build a fun little tool and feel like you made something. Of course, you just had someone make it for you. It's like going to a class and go to a pottery class or whatever, and you get to paint the pottery, but they're the ones that put it in the kiln and do the real work. That's kind of what this is like. So, anyway, thanks for watching. I was mainly doing this stream just so I could test out this setup because I'm going to record a better version of this at some point where I actually give detailed instructions on how I made some apps because there are a lot of like weird little extensions and things you have to download that if you're not clear with ChatGPT that you are absolutely zero, no nothing beginner, and that you need it to explain things in excruciating detail, it's just going to assume you know stuff and be like, oh yeah, install this, or not even tell you to install a thing that you need. And then you got to go and find it. Luckily, VS Code here does tell you in the problem section if a code won't run. Like I think House Party 2 here doesn't run. Let's find out. Can I turn this off? Nope, I do not want to do that. Let's close that. Close that. Close that. There we go. And if we go to run this one, nothing happens. And unfortunately, in this case, it's not actually telling me why. Wait, this is the wrong one. House Party 2. Hit the play button. Yeah, it won't even play it. And that's because you can't see over here, but it's red. And the red code is somewhere in here. Oh, this hostname Mac vendor thing. I have no idea what that means, so I'm kind of stuck. So luckily I got a better version. That this one worked out pretty good. I think this is the one that I customized the colors on. That's weird. None of them are running. Why is that? All right. I'm going to reopen VS Code. I think there might be a problem. Okay. I just realized what the problem is. Nope, that isn't the problem. You can't have more than one app open at the same time if you're running it. So here we go. Now it's running. Oh. Return self, icon, bitmap, self with bitmap. It can't find. That's so weird. Why is this app having a problem with file users, house party? Line 2000. There are no 2000 lines. That's weird. Did I break my perfectly good code? That's not defined. I think I broke something. That is weird. Because it's right there. There's the icon. So you can make a little ICO is the name of the icon file. You can go online and convert any kind of little bitmap image into an ICO file, and that'll be the icon in the corner of your app. It's right there. I don't know why you can't find it. You're looking for it here? That's weird. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to figure out why that's not working. But thanks for tuning in. And Ghost, thanks for asking if I have AI. I don't know what you mean by that. But, yeah. Have a good night.